Before you start the installation of your new Poppy Playhouse, there are a few things you'll need to check first. Make sure that the installation area is clear for assembly. The building will need to be constructed onto a flat level base. We're building this playhouse onto a raised wooden framework to help protect it from damp and insects. We would always recommend installing on a dry day with a minimum of 2 people. To erect this playhouse, you'll need a screwdriver, a drill, a hammer, a tape measure, a ladder and a Stanley knife or cutting tool. Start by removing the transportation blocks from each of the panels with a few taps from the hammer. It's best to fix the door within the door panel first to ensure that the hinges are level. Place the door gable onto a flat surface and place the door within the aperture. Make sure that there is an equal gap around all 4 sides of the door. Fix the hinges at the top and bottom of the door with 30mm screws. Make sure that you pre-drill all screw holes throughout this installation to prevent the wood from splitting. You can now prepare the floor. Align the bearers over your base and space them equally apart. Place the veranda boards evenly against the floor sheet and flush with the framing. Secure in place using 30mm screws at each end of the board. Slide the floor down onto the bearers. Make sure it's flush on each side before securing down through into the bearers. Use the veranda board as a guide. Start the main body of the installation with the rear panel and one of the side panels to form an L-shaped join. Secure the panels together at the top, middle and bottom using 50mm screws. Repeat this in the exact same way for the other side panel and front gable. Once all the walls are up, it's time to work on the roof. Starting with the ridge bar, line an L bracket up with the end of the bar and secure it at each end. Place the ridge bar in between the door and plain gable and secure in place using an L bracket at either end. Before placing the roof sheets onto the playhouse, attach an eaves frame to each sheet. Secure the frames through the board at equal intervals. Slide the roof sheets up onto the roof and secure in place with 40mm screws along the roof support and gables. Repeat this for the other panel. Now that the playhouse is constructed, fix the building down to the floor through the interior framing with 50mm screws at equal intervals. Attach the fascia support block to the front of the playhouse using 30mm screws, making sure that it is flush with the outside edge of the roof sheets. With the felt, either measure the length of your roof with a tape measure, adding a few extra inches either end for overhang. Or as we've done here, you can roll it out along the length of your building and cut to size. Use a Stanley knife or cutting tool to cut the felt for a nice clean finish. Next, cut the felt into 3 sheets and lay onto the roof. Ensure that they overlap slightly and there is a 50mm overhang around the sides. Tack the felt in place along each edge at equal intervals. At the back of the building, fix the 2 cover trims to either end of the side panels using 30mm screws. You can now fix the fascias at the front and the back of the playhouse using 40mm screws. Ensure that the felt is sandwiched between the fascia and the building to keep the playhouse dry. Fix the finial to the apex using 40mm screw. Remove the film from both sides of the door window before fitting the window bars. Score around the windows to remove the protective cover on the glazing and peel back carefully. Place the beading into the window and slot into place, making sure that it is central. Fit the second piece of beading across and secure in place with a 20mm screw, ensuring not to damage the styrene glazing behind. Position the wooden door handle on the outside of the door and secure from the inside using a 60mm screw. On the inside of the door, secure the ply triangle doorstop to the bottom left corner. Place the window frame crosses against the inside of each window and fix using 20mm screws. Now that your playhouse is complete, you will need to treat the building with a high quality timber preservative to protect it throughout the year. For more installation,